Hi everybody, another Monday, another story out of my book, A Spectacular Life. We had an idea to cross some of the most beautiful alpine passes in the Sea Alps in south of France. And one of the best places to pass is the Galibier, which goes up to 2,600 meters, extremely high. In order to start, we had to start actually from Monaco into the Sea Alps, and usually you start in the direction Monaco towards Nice. But Mick Doohan, Arthur Mostert, Michael Schumacher, and me, we started in the other direction. I led them direction to Mandon, which is close to the Italian border and goes exactly the opposite way. Only 3-4 kilometers outside of Monaco, Michael came up right next to me and shouted to me, "Hey, you don't know where the Alps are? You know we wanted to go into the Sea Alps." I said, "Yes, I know." "Yes, but it's the other direction." I said, "Michael, believe me, I know what I do. So just trust me and follow up, and we will have fun. Believe me." A few kilometers later, I turned left into the Sea Alps, which is from Menton on zero level up to 1,100 and a few meters up to the Col de la Madone, which is a pass spectacular because you have a spectacular view down to Menton, to Monte Carlo, to Nice, to Cannes. You can see until Saint-Tropez. And this pass usually is also the training section for most of the world best motorcycler. They train there every now and then. You always have to watch out when they come down or they go up. You cross with cyclists. But we went up there, which was just beautiful. And then we headed into the real Sea Alps. And we crossed various passes. We crossed Auron and Isola. And then finally we went in Briançon, where we had a little stop. And from Briançon, there is a road leading directly into the Galibier. And we used this road into the Galibier. And the Galibier has a rhythm section which is beautiful, but whenever you have the feeling, now it's great rhythm, there is a problem coming up on the road, you have no idea because you have to break down from 80 to 20 and you have a hair needle, or, there's also something interrupting your rhythm, which is very nice and difficult, but at the same time, sometimes boring. So anyhow, Mick Doohan was with us, and Mick used an Honda race bike, which has, of course, much more horsepower than ours. It was much faster. But what he did on this bike after his accident in 1999, when he almost died, when the newspaper already wrote he is in the hospital and probably dying, has a hard time to overcome this problem, blah, blah, blah. 5 years later, he was back up again. And when he went back up again, he was actually in a situation where nobody wants to be in, because he had a reconvalescence of 4 years, where he traveled from Australia to Europe to America, from one clinic to another, from one doctor to the other, in order to have treatments and coming back up again. And so we went up to the Galibier. When we were on the top, I used to stop every time I was on a Harley tour. I used to stop at the top of a mountain because of the situation of accidents. Because with the hundreds of Harley tours I made, accidents never happens when you go up. They always happens when you go down. And this is true to the fact that you go up and your bike, in a moment, you don't accelerate, your bike slows down. when you go down on the other side and you don't accelerate, you still continue running down and even get faster. So it's very difficult to have this change in mind, and that's why I stopped on the buses and had a drink, had a small talk, and then explained shortly, watch out, your bike is moving, it's heavy, so always get a gear down earlier than normal, and try to make the course perfect. Even that I knew I didn't have to tell Mick Doohan that, even not Arthur Mostert, and probably also not Michael, I did, just for security reasons, while I was used to do that all the time. So when we were up there on the top level, on the right hand side there was a huge stone around 3-4 meters high, and around it smaller stones, and we were all sitting down right next to each other, and started to have a small talk, you know. And normally you talk about funny things, and this time I don't know why, we ended up to talk about life and death. And life and death with these two guys is hard to discuss, because when they do their job, they're always fighting about life and death every single time, you know. So I started to ask Mick about his accident, and Michael asked him about the treatments and why it took so long, and if he still had some problems today. And of course he had some problems, because one leg is a little shorter than the other one. On the same time, he has to take a lot of little medicaments in order to recover further. And we were talking about the sense of racing, and why is it so full of risk, and what could you do if you have an accident, how to protect yourself, are you afraid, and all this kind of stuff, and everything was fine. And then I finally asked them a question. I said, can I ask the two of you one question? I really would like to know. Until when, until what situation life is worth living? Or life becomes a problem and actually you don't want to continue anymore? Until when? Where is the point for you when this level is reached? And you believe it or not, both of them, unisono, had the same answer for me. And I was completely surprised about it. It was unbelievable. And what they said, what they explained, and how they, especially Mick, got down the other side in order to prove something to us, which we also discussed and you read in the book, will be in here. This is A Spectacular Life, my autobiography, available on Amazon and on kingeventos.com. So if you are interested, get the book and read it all, okay? Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Until next week. Ciao.